Thanks for joining us on CoreTV News this hour. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. President Muhammadu Buhari in a nationwide broadcast this morning to mark the 55th independence anniversary charged Nigerians on the unity of purpose to celebrate the independence. The president reiterates the effort that he remains committed to ensuring that the change matters, especially when in the war against the Boko Haram comes to fruition, saying his government is not meant for hunting anyone and all hands must be on deck to win.
For you to join me in working for the nation. My countrymen and women, every new government inherits problems. Ours was no different. But what Nigerians want are solutions, quick solutions, not a recitation of problems inherited. Accordingly, after consultations with the Vice President, senior party leaders, and the other senior stakeholders, I quickly got down to work on the immediate, medium-term, and long-term problems which we must solve if we are to maintain the confidence which Nigerians so generously bestowed on us in the March elections. And since then, as you know, I toured the neighboring countries, marshaled a coalition of armed forces of the 5 nations to confront and defeat Boko Haram.
Well, President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, showed up at the presidential villa alongside other dignitaries for ceremonies marking the nation's 55th independence anniversary. It's the first time it would be seen publicly at the State House since he emerged Senate President against the wish of the leadership of the ruling All Progressives Congress. The event was the ceremonial change of guards at the forecourt of the seat of power. We'll bring you sight and sound in our subsequent bulletins. Also, President of the Senate has congratulated Nigerians on the nation's 55th independence anniversary. In a goodwill message to commemorate this year's Independence Day, the Senate President thanked Nigerians for their support and encouragement to President Muhammadu Buhari and other successive administrations for the nation's development so far. He also urged them to remain steadfast in their support and be hopeful for a better nation. The Senate President commended the presidency for the giant strides recorded so far in the fight against Boko Haram and other security challenges confronting Nigeria. The 55th Independence Day celebration was marked in Cross River State with pomp and pageantry at the Brigadier U.J. Houston Stadium in Calabar, the state capital. Government officials led by the state governor Ben Ayade and Deputy Governor Ivare Esu thronged the 20,000 capacity stadium. We'll bring you details subsequently. Senator representing Bauchi Central Hama Issa Masao has said that the Senate President Bukola Saraki is not responsible for the inability of Senator Ahmed Lawan to emerge as majority leader in line with the proposal of the leadership of the All Progressives Congress. Masao explained that members of the Northeast Caucus of the APC in the Senate overwhelmingly voted against the decision in preference for Senator Ali Ndume. He recorded that out of the 11 senators who were members of the caucus, 8 voted for Ndume while 3 opted for Lawan. Senator Masao noted that explanation became necessary in view of widespread belief that the Senate President deliberately antagonized the party leadership by refusing to name Lawan and the others into leadership positions. The Bauchi senator added that many people overrate the powers of the Senate President, whom he says must always do what his colleagues want and must even carry them along at all times. He added that contrary to speculations in some quarters, the majority of the senators are in support of Saraki, even in spite of the ongoing trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Back to the euphoria of the Independence Day celebration, former Vice President and Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has advised Nigerians, as a matter of fact, says Nigerians deserve a pat on the back for their perseverance in preserving the country since independence. He said this in a statement congratulating Nigerians on the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary. The Turaki Adama noted that this year's celebration is significant because it coincides with a change of government when an opposition party took over power through a democratic, free and fair election. The former vice president identifies nation building as the greatest challenge facing the country, pointing out Nigerians still need to improve the way they relate to one another. Atiku added that there is a need for the people to begin to see themselves first as Nigerians rather than one ethnic group or the other. Lawmakers in the Nigerian Senate have described Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary as a time for sober reflection in the face of overwhelming socio-economic and security challenges. While taking turns to congratulate Nigerians and President Muhammadu Buhari on the feat, they also stressed the need to reassess the country's economic situation. They spoke on the wish for a nation united in progress and development. At the House of Representatives, members have been recounting the experiences and national issues and events that led to the independence of Nigeria 55 years ago. In a motion moved by
it's the second day of plenary in the House of Representatives after a 6 weeks break,
at 55.
and also the eve to Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary. And these lawmakers say they are pleased that Nigeria is still a united entity. With the House suspending its rule to enable members move a motion on independence, this legislator says Nigerians should be congratulated for their patience.
There are so many good reasons to celebrate our independence anniversary in spite of our challenges as a nation. Note that this occasion offers yet another opportunity to reflect on the country's past and plans for the future. Aware of the concerted efforts and sacrifices of Nigerians towards maintaining one united country founded on the principle of equity, fairness, and justice.
The reflection on Nigeria at 55 brought to the fore the good old days when Nigeria and Nigerians lived together as brothers and sisters. Members of the House say they will not forget the contributions of the founding fathers and those who paid the supreme price in the struggle for independence. But they also wish that Nigerians learn from the legacies and patriotism displayed by their forebears.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to celebrate Nigeria. I want to celebrate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who won his election through elections that people adjudged to be free and fair. He carries the standard bearer of the collective hope and aspirations of Nigeria. In spite of where you come from, north, east, west, and south, who swore to defend, uphold, and protect the Constitution of Nigeria, and I believe that as a man of integrity that he is, he will do just that.
We have seen how our people leave the shores of this country, professionals. They go abroad and they just become the best and brightest there. What is wrong? This is the environment that they have found themselves that has hindered them from giving as much as they can. We have to make a conscious effort to change the way we do things here. We have to make sure that we allow ourselves to grow. We help ourselves to get to the limits of whatever we put our minds to. And at the end of the day, this country will be so good that others will now be rushing.
Some of them are, however, concerned over the level of disunity amongst Nigerians, especially in the area of religion. They say until Nigerians see themselves as brothers and neighbors, the needed peace might not be fully achieved.
Where did we let it on to the extent that your neighbor will now become an enemy? Where one will look at somebody and say, you're not from my tribe. Where the other person will say, I'm not from your place. When it all starts, then it's a wake-up call for Nigerians to know that for God to give us a life today is for a purpose. And for Nigeria not to be situated up to now, it means that
Members unanimously adopted the motion and congratulated Nigerians and Nigeria on the country's 55 Independence Day celebrations. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has finally received the list of ministerial nominees from the presidency. He confirmed receipt of the executive communication via his Twitter handle at about 5:30 yesterday. The Senate President received the list from the President's Chief of Staff, Abba Yari, and the Special Advisor on National Assembly Affairs, Ita Inang, just before 5 p.m. in his office. The screening of the list is expected to kickstart on Tuesday when the House reconvenes. Meanwhile, Senator Shola Adeyeye has assumed office as the Senate Chief Whip 3 months after the inauguration of the National Assembly. This was after the Southwest Caucus of the All Progressives Congress sent in a letter endorsing him for the position. He was the party's choice for the position but did not take a seat at the time other principal officers from the APC were named. Senator Adeyeye is the only one out of the 4 endorsed by the party leaders, which the Senate leadership found acceptable. We'll take a break now. I'll be back with more stories if you stay with us.
Rise, oh compatriot, Nigeria, call, obey, to serve our fatherland. Strength and faith, the laborer, our heroes past, shall never be in vain.
You're watching CoreTV News on the app with Nifemi Oguntoye. You can also get all of the top stories on any of the social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/CoreTV for the space and news. The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has charged Nigerians to use the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary to rekindle the spirit of patriotism while exhibiting actions that promote democratic ideals and peaceful coexistence at all levels in the country. In a statement signed on Wednesday by its National Publicity Secretary, Olisa Metu, the party said the occasion reminds of Nigeria's common roots and destiny, as well as our resilience and determination to succeed in all spheres of life. It further congratulated the citizenry for keeping faith in the Nigerian project and working together in building a strong nation and one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The party, however, urged Nigerians to use the anniversary to commit to respecting their leaders at the local, state, and national levels, while paying adequate reverence to national symbols and institutions. Also, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Wednesday congratulated Nigerians as the nation marks a 55th independence anniversary as a sovereign state, saying patriotism and selfless service are 2 aspects that can truly reflect the essence of the country's independence. The governor, in a statement signed by his Chief Press Secretary Habib Aruna, said the period of independence must not be lost on anyone, urging Nigerians to rededicate themselves to the pride and service of the nation as exemplified by her founding fathers. CoreTV News went out to find out the opinion of some Nigerians in Lagos as regards Nigeria's independence 55 years after. This is what we came back with.
I can see the good work of the president. At least he has changed our economic system, and we pray for more wisdom for him to also continue and to keep the good work.
I wish everything should be going smooth, not armed robbery, not anything, for the government to improve more efforts in Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria.
Our economic is still deteriorating, and the way of this state of government, whereby our government has promised us so many things, schooling, there are still so many people who does not have schools, and it's still deteriorating, but at least better than before.
I'm so glad that I'm alive. My children are alive. Nigeria is okay because we've improved. I thank God that we've improved.
My dear, I will not lie you. Things are as just a bit difficult for some people. Honestly, people that are on top, they have to do something.
I am very happy. I am very, very great because my husband, my children, in short, I thank God. So the only thing I can say, let our country do something. People are suffering.
Tomorrow we'll be celebrating our independence, and little bit things are improved, let me just say that. But we are still expecting more change, exactly, especially in the area of our economic. We're really expecting change, and we believe we're going to have it very soon.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has likened the death of former technocrat and administrator Gamaliel Nassadeh to the loss of a library. This is as judging by his deep knowledge of Nigeria and its socio-economic development. Senator Saraki said in a condolence message to the Nassadeh family and people of Delta State that he was a man of many parts and one of the second generation of architects of the Nigerian nation. He stated that the deceased served the nation in various capacities with excellence, diligence, and dignity. The Senate President also called on the Delta State government to immortalize the deceased for his noble deeds. The National State Assembly's Elections Petitions Tribunal, sitting in Jalingo, has annulled the election of Senator Bashir Marafa. He was representing Taraba Center on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Udwa Godwin reports that the tribunal directed the Independent National Electoral Commission to issue certificate of return to Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf of the All Progressives Congress as the duly elected senator.
Senator Bashir Marafa is one of 3 senators who emerged victorious in the last election on the PDP platform. But the Elections Petitions Tribunal has ruled that he was not validly elected. In its ruling on the petition filed by APC's Yusuf Abubakar, the tribunal set aside Marafa's election and declared the petitioner duly elected with the highest number of lawful votes. It also ordered INEC to issue the petitioner a certificate of return. Expectedly, the petitioner's counsel is satisfied with the outcome of the petition.
The judgment is sound, well researched, and in all things, what is important in a judgment is dispensation of justice. The root of the complaint is that votes were swapped. Results duly collated in the polling units were not reckoned with at the local government collation center. The borderline judgment that is not based on common sense. It's not judgment. This is the average man's expectation of justice.
For their part, counsel to the respondents described the judgment as normal. They, however, noted that the decision to appeal is that of their client.
On a serious note, yes, we lost in the tribunal, but we have never lost the court, because the tribunal is just the court of first instance. After the tribunal, there is the court of appeal.
But naturally, you want your client to win. That is natural. But it's not every time that you win. You win some, you lose some. Even in the present dispensation, we have won several cases, even at the court of appeal. But it is for us to advise our clients accordingly. We will tell them our own view of the case, and then we will advise. But it's one thing to advise, it's another thing for your clients to heed the advice.
Tight security was provided at the Sharia Court of Appeal, Jalingo venue of the sitting to forestall any possible breach of peace. Udwa Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
The National State Legislative House's Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, has delivered judgment on 4 petitions filed before it on the last general elections. 3 of the petitioners are challenging the results declared by INEC in 1 senatorial seat and 2 seats in the House of Assembly, while 1 petition is about the omission of the logo of 1 party on the ballot of the elections. Rashid has details in this report.
The first judgment by the tribunal was on the petition filed by the candidate of the People for Democratic Change, who is contesting the omission of its logo on the ballot of the election. The tribunal struck out the petition on the ground that the PDC candidate was not validly nominated because his party failed to fill all required forms in respect of the standard bearer for the election to the Ekiti Central Senatorial District.
The tribunal, in their wisdom, believe that is not properly ushered before them. So that's just the thing.
What the next step now?
Yeah, when I discuss with my clients, we know what to do.
The tribunal also dismissed the 2 petitions challenging the victory of PDP candidates in the April 11 House of Assembly election. The petitions are by Shola Olofin, APC versus Arogunade Musa, PDP for Ado Constituency 1, and Adeyeye Johnson, APC versus Samuel Omotosho, PDP for Oye Constituency 1. The petition by Gbenga Olofin of APC challenging the victory of Fatimat Rajirasaki of PDP in the Ekiti Central Senatorial seat at the Senate also failed.
Going by the election and everything that was pleaded in course of trial, you see that the election was free and fair, but they were just trying to come using technicalities to nullify the election. And I'm so happy that the court came out to say no, that they cannot do that.
With this judgment, the Ekiti Petition Tribunal has finished its assignment. Fireworks may only be expected at the appellate court. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Outside Nigeria, the United States has conducted several airstrikes with the aim of protecting coalition troops at the airport near the northern city of Kunduz as Afghan forces continue to battle Taliban to retake it. The military coalition said NATO special forces have also reached Kunduz to also bolster Afghan troops after the Taliban seized the strategic city. A NATO spokesman who confirmed this said the coalition special forces comprising of US, British and German troops are on the ground now to advise their Afghan counterparts. Heavy fighting continued to rage inside Kunduz for a 3rd day as government forces backed by US strikes battled Taliban fighters who have scored one of the biggest successes in 14 years of war. The United Nations has raised the Palestinian flag for the first time following an address delivered by Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to the UN General Assembly. The flag was raised in the Rose Garden on Wednesday as a large crowd of diplomats and reporters watched on. Speaking to the crowd, Abbas dedicated the ceremony to the martyrs, the prisoners, and the wounded, and of course to those who gave their lives while trying to raise the flag. Hundreds of Palestinians assembled in the occupied West Bank city of Ramallah, where they watched the flag raising on a large screen set up in Yasser Arafat Square. In an op-ed published by the Huffington Post, Abbas called the flag raising a moment of hope and called on the international community to recognize the independence of the state of Palestine. Syria's defense ministry says it's time Russian military jets have carried out airstrikes in Syria for the first time. The ministry spokesman Igor Konashenkov disclosed that the airstrikes targeted positions, vehicles and warehouses that Russia believes belong to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant ISIL group. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov later told the UN Secretary Council that his country is ready to forge standing channels of communication to ensure a maximally effective fight against terrorist groups with the US and other countries. That wraps it in the news this hour. Thank you for watching. I am Ifemi. Good to you.